I saw it hanging up in her closet and I'm like, you're in Atlanta. You're not wearing this. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and this is Jen Lifestyle and Fashion. And on this channel we talk about thrifting, upcycling, sewing, styling, fashion. We take those thrifted and consigned pieces, incorporate them into our wardrobe, and create our own personal style. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then stay tuned. Click that subscribe button below. Click on that bell so that you don't miss an update. All right, well, welcome back to Vlogmas. We are still in the month of December and it is still Vlogmas 2023. And it's been a struggle. I will not lie. Vlogmas is very time consuming and it will keep you on your toes. I'm grateful that I have had some content that I recorded, so I've been able to bring some of that to you, but there's a lot more that I still want to bring, and so that's why I'm excited to be here today. And I'm glad that you're here because I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite coats that I have in my wardrobe. Now, these coats have either been thrifted, gifted, or sewn by me. So I've either thrifted them at a thrift store, maybe I got them on consignment, maybe I got them at one of the like vintage markets. I love vintage coats because I love the tailoring, I love the collars, I love kind of the, sometimes you'll get like those 3/4 length sleeves. So all of that really appeals to me. And then the rest of the coats I've sewn myself. So these are coats that have probably been in my wardrobe for several years. One of them's fairly new. One of them is about 20 years old and the other one might be about 10 or 15 years old. But I want to bring them to you today, so we'll have a little show and tell me which ones that you like the most. And when I come back at the end, I'm going to tell you which one of the coats is my favorite. All right, so let's get started. I'll be right back. Okay. This leather kind of, I want to say oxblood color is kind of what it is. It is a deep kind of red rust kind of color. I thrifted this from Goodwill. Had to be maybe 7 or 8 years ago, right around the time that I moved back to Chicago. And I saw it and I grabbed it so fast because I've been looking for a leather coat like this. And the detail on it, y'all, is just amazing. I mean, if you look at the belt, it's got like some stitching on it. The pockets are gorgeous. I love this coat. Definitely one of my top and one of my best finds. When you find leather coats and they're in good condition and they're vintage, don't pass them up. This one is lovely, and this one is by I don't know if it has a name on it. It just says genuine leather. And it feels great. This is definitely more of a fall coat because it's not very heavy. It's not, doesn't have like a additional lining in it for warmth. So it's definitely a fall coat. I can button it and it's got this great belt with it. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, this one is a genuine fur. And it is a vintage coat, and as you can see, it has a shortened sleeve, so it does stop just above my wrist. Because it's fur, it is warm. Surprisingly, it is lightweight, but it is warm and it feels great. And so a lot of times I'll wear this one when I have on like long pants, or even if I have like a strapless jumpsuit, because I know I can throw this across my shoulders and still be warm. And I love it. It's like this kind of crushed fur. And so it's very lovely. It hits a little below the knee, and I just think it's fantastic. Again, another great find. I believe I picked this up from a vintage reseller maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. So it is a recent find. Just, you know, lovely, and I reach for it very often. Look familiar? It should. You guys, if you follow me over on Instagram, you have seen this coat. You might have seen the video where I think I took you guys with me to Randolph Market. And there's a vintage retailer there. If I can find their name, I will link it below. But I'll definitely find out which one it was and make sure that that information is over on Instagram at some point. So if you're ever in Chicago, definitely want to check them out. Also check them out on IG. So this coat is a velvet, not velvet, I'm sorry. It is olive green. It looks like it's fur. It is a faux fur coat. Believe it or not, faux fur. It has this beautiful belt with it that I think just gives it that, again, that vintage kind of tailored, really chic look. These beautiful gold buttons. I mean, this piece was definitely carefully curated. Now, when I was at an event last week with Curio, I ran into a gentleman who created and used to manufacture the buttons for these types of coats. And so he gave me a little bit of history about the coat. And he said that it was a faux fur, which I didn't think it was a faux fur. I thought it was just a velvet coat. He said it's faux fur, manufactured in the 70s. And actually, I'll take the belt off so that you can see, because he wanted to see the inside of the coat. He wanted to see if there was a label. Unfortunately, there's no label inside the coat. And the only thing I have on the belt, and hopefully you can see that, you'll see on there where it says Majestic. I think you can see it. And you can see on there where it you can see some words. It says Majestic on there. And so the belt and the buckle and all of that were from a separate manufacturer who did the buttons and the belt buckle and things like that, and they work together. So again, I love this coat. I reach for it quite often. It is in rotation on a regular, and I don't see this one going anywhere anytime soon. Okay. All right, this coat I have had for a very long time. I thrifted this when I lived in Chicago years ago. So I would say definitely at least 15 years. And it is a Tahari coat. I have changed the buttons on this several times. I'm going through another change now because I want to do something with a little more crystals. Occasionally I've worn it with a belt, but it is this kind of bouclé. You can see the detail in it. It's a beautiful, and it's got this wide collar that if I wanted to turn it up, I could turn it up. But I saw it, I grabbed it, I was like, oh, I couldn't leave the store without it. It's got pockets. Again, just a very well-made coat and in my rotation on a regular. All right, let's bring some color in here. All right, this coat you probably saw over on IG. Uh-oh. All right, we're gonna be back. My camera's overheating. We'll be back shortly. Great. All right, so just before the camera heated up, we were talking about this coat and I wanted you to see the label on the inside is Mademoiselle. And I'm gonna look it up for you guys, but whoops. All right, so this coat I picked up at a swap last year. I think you guys were there and saw the swap. It's very different from my other coats. One, you see the sleeve is made a lot different. Not only is it 3/4, but it's got a little puff to it. It's also got this little like ruching kind of pleating thing happening in the back. This is a great coat. It has a big snap here in the front. Oh, actually, it's a snap and a hook. That's one thing about these vintage coats. They always have different kinds of closures. So here's another look at the label on there. There we go. You can see the vintage label in there, but really great. At first I thought it was handmade. I thought maybe somebody had made it, but when I saw the labels and everything in it, I thought, great coat. Okay. I will tell you, I am a fur girl. I love fur. When my grandmother passed, I acquired her fur stoles, her fur coats, her fur jackets. I keep saying I want to have them redone. I just haven't done it yet, but I have my mom's old furs. I love the feel. And this one is super lovely. You see it's trimmed in mink and it's got this cheetah. It's beautiful. There is a flaw with this coat. I haven't figured out where the flaw is, but I believe it's torn on a seam, and I do not sew fur, so I gotta figure out how to work around that. But I love this coat. It's got this fur belt with it. It fits very well. It's super warm. Look at the collar, y'all. The fur is in such good condition. I bought this from a secondhand seller, a reseller of clothing, and she gave me a really good deal on it. And I just think that it's lovely. It hasn't quite been cold enough in Chicago to wear it, even though we did have snow one day, but that was like Halloween, and then it was like 70 degrees the next day. So I haven't really had a chance to wear much fur, but I love a good camel coat, and this one hits it on the mark. This is a vintage Blass camel wool coat, and it is perfect for work, business, suits, skirts, or pants. It's perfect. I picked this up at an estate sale that I went to on a whim. I don't think I even shared the footage for you guys yet, but I saw this coat hang up in the woman's closet and I was like, that's mine. Why hasn't anybody picked this coat up? I paid $10 for it. Yeah, $10. Blass. It's amazing. It's great. I love it. This one, oh my goodness. You guys, I think you were with me when I bought this. It was at the vintage sale at Randolph Street Market, and I saw it from across the room hanging on a rack, and I was like, I was getting ready to leave. I had already bought that green coat and the olive green coat, and I'd already like spent, you know, probably too much money at that point. And I said, please don't let that coat be more than $50. Just make it not be more than $50. It was 30, okay? And the person who was selling it doesn't even sell vintage clothing. She sells vintage furniture. And she had a beautiful chair and some other things and a beautiful table, which someone snatched up before I could get it. But anyway, this coat, beautiful detail on it, beautiful buttons. This coat, fabulous. Recent find. Look at the blue. It's so blue. It's beautiful. It's got these beautiful cloth buttons. Again, vintage, shortened sleeve, just below the knee. It's got pockets, it's fully lined. It's got kind of this Peter Pan type collar on it. Yeah, I saw this at Goodwill a few weeks back, and I looked at it and I kept picking it up. And I was like, Jen, why aren't you putting this coat in your cart? Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really nice. It's a really nice coat. So this is the last thrifted coat. All right. The next 3 coats are all made by me. Oh, I lost the light. All right, you guys. So I'm back. I had to let the camera cool off. Let me tell you about this coat. Are you ready? You're wondering why it still has the tags on it? Because this coat is, I got one better for you than tags. I have the original receipt from I think it's 73, from Woodward Lothrop in Washington, D.C. This woman paid $137 for this coat, and that was a lot of money. You see, it's like the original. Yeah, it's the original. Yeah. So, tag still on it. Even the tag still stuck on the inside. It's stapled. The fur, it's not shedding at all. Sorry, it's jinx in the back. Beautiful belt. I haven't been able to bring myself to take the tags off. I thought I might sell it, and I feel like the tags add more value to it, but I love it so much. Like, I low-key want to pin the tags inside the sleeve and wear the coat just because it is so beautiful. It's a great coat. So this is the last one of the vintage. Now we're going into some coats that are a little newer, still thrifted or gifted or sewn by me. This coat. Picked it up at a consignment store in Toronto last year over New Year's. Wish I was going back this year because I would be going there to shop. Amazing, amazing consignment store. It does have a belt, but I wasn't able to find it before the video. Y'all look at this coat. Look at it. Like I said, I'm a fur girl. I love fur. Give me something with fur and your girl is happy. I love this coat. It retailed for around $1,500, and when I saw it in the store, it was marked down to $328. But the day that I got it was about $100. And I'm just telling you, everything about it is perfect. I wore this coat so much last year, that people were just like, do you have any other coats? Because I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. This to me is a statement. When you walk in the room in this coat, eyes are turning. It's something about a fur collar, you know, and a tapered look. This one right here is the one. All right, we are back with more lights and a new coat. You might have seen this coat in my New York thrifting video. I picked this one up at Housing Works in New York. The brand is Topshop, and I love this coat. I think it's great for like work and over suits and things like that. The only thing I don't like about it is this piece here in the back. So I am planning to remove, I think that dates the coat, and it doesn't really do anything for it. It's not, you know, it doesn't help cinch the waist. It doesn't do anything. So I will be removing that. It's got a huge snap here in the front, and you can see the color. It's like a red and blue houndstooth, and it's just a great coat. I love the way it's made, and I haven't had it in rotation yet, but it's definitely something I will be wearing soon. And the only reason I haven't worn it is just because it's been packed away for a while in the move. But otherwise, this one's staying. All right, my first gifted coat. This coat was gifted to me. And actually, truth be told, because if she's watching this video, it's on loan, all right? But she, my girlfriend who lives in Atlanta, found this coat at a thrift store. And I'm sure she will comment below when she sees it. But I saw it hanging up in her closet, and I'm like, you're in Atlanta. You're not wearing this. You are not wearing this coat. It's too warm down there. You need to give it to your Chicago girlfriend who can make some use out of it. Look at it, y'all. The wool is just beautiful. Look at it. It's great. It's lovely. It's got a little piece here in the back. You guys remember this one. This is the coat. I did a full video, sew along with me. This is definitely, it's a fall coat. It's kind of lightweight, but it is this beautiful like Tiffany blue color, and I did the sleeves so that it had a little contrast on here. All of the fabrics were all the fabrics for this coat I got through a company, an organization here in Chicago that gives away fabrics to teachers and people who are just looking to reuse or not reuse fabric, but this it's dead stock, and so somebody was just gonna toss it out, and I picked it up and I made this great coat out of it. So you see the collar. Will it come in? Is it coming in? It's coming in. It's coming. It's coming. It takes a minute for the camera to adjust, but you can see the color a lot better now. So these kind of sloped sleeves, kind of dolman sleeves. I lined it with some fabric that I've had for about 20 years, this steel gray bridal satin that I just love. And I haven't really had much chance to wear it just because it's been packed away, but again, made by me. And it's the length that I would want a coat to be. You know, sometimes you go to the stores, you buy coats, they're not quite the length that you want. You know, you'll settle for it, but you really want something a little longer. That's what I did with this one. Let's see if we can get the color to come back in. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's lovely. It's lovely. Another wool coat made by me. It is a deep burgundy, kind of, yeah, deep burgundy, deep red coat. And it used to be so much longer. When I first made it, it was so super long. I ended up having to go in and cut it out. But I'll come in close so that you can see the fabric. It's kind of a color on color houndstooth, but one of my favorites. I did put pockets in there. The buttons are hidden. Back in the day, I had this thing for hidden buttons. I didn't like to have buttons showing, so most of the jackets and coats and suits that I made, you could never see the buttons. But again, I love it. I made it a little oversized so that I could wear heavier clothes up underneath. Again. And last but not least, this coat is, oh, I guess I might have made this back in 2000. Yeah, probably 2000. That's how long it's been. If I can find a picture of me wearing this back in about 08, 09, 2010, I will pop it up. But the only mistake I made with this coat, I did not put any pockets in it. What was I thinking? But look, it's got, see, I have a thing with 2-part sleeves. The cleaners messed up one of my buttons, so it's missing, but these buttons are gorgeous. Fully lined, belt is attached. Lovely. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I'll be back with my favorite coat. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my coat haul. From my own personal closet, some of my favorites. And yes, this coat is definitely in my top 3. Dare I say it is my favorite. The thing that I like about it, I love the color, I love the fur, I love the accents, and I love the tailoring on the coat. I just feel like it's so well made. And it's warm. And I get so many compliments on it, and I just feel like it fits me very well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. These are some of my favorite coats. Mind you, I have so many more. And as I was creating this video, I was able to eliminate some coats that just are not serving me anymore, and so I'm getting rid of them. I'm giving them away. Some of them will go maybe on Poshmark, but a lot of them will probably just go to Goodwill, and I will give back. All right, hope you enjoyed this episode of Vlogmas, and hopefully we'll be back for another episode tomorrow. All right, you guys, have a great day. Bye.